Can we talk about this real quick?
Sure.
Why is it that nobody ever wanted to write a backstory for Chad Michael Murray?
Right?
We've now had 2 movies, not in a row, but like we did a Cinderella story where like there was fucking nothing about Chad Michael Murray except that he had a bad relationship with his dad, and his dad wanted him to go to like Harvard or something. In this movie, what do we know about Chad Michael Murray, Sarah?
That he has for the time, a great haircut.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Swoon-worthy.
Welcome to the Rom-Com Rewind podcast.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Devin.
And like you, I love rewatching movies over and over again.
You are here. You found us somehow, so thank you for being a part of the RCR fam, Rom-Com Rewinders fam. You love romantic comedies. We do as well.
So this is a show where we rewatch rom-coms, break them down a bit for you, maybe take a peek behind the curtain, dig beneath the surface, and decide, does it still hold up?
It is officially spooky season, so today we have
Freaky Friday.
And if you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever, please follow, subscribe, leave reviews. They help more people find us and learn about us. And if you hear anything on this podcast or a previous podcast that you want to talk more about, we respond to literally everybody. Send a message on Instagram at romcomrewind. That's Sarah who does that. On our Gmail, romcomrewind@gmail.com. That's Sarah who responds there. On TikTok as well. That's Sarah who responds to that. So thank you for all that work, Sarah. And as well, if you want to leave a voicemail, actually, 705-525-8573. Your voice might end up on the podcast.
Yeah, and that's Devin.
And that would be me, that one thing. We got a message on our Instagram from Michelle. Said, I started listening to your podcast a few weeks ago and I love it. Now I've gone back to listen to your back episodes. I was going to save your 2020 Christmas movies until November, but I couldn't wait. Your Hallmark Christmas special was hilarious.
Yes.
This is satire,
It's made
Sarah.
my day.
Michelle is making fun of us.
No, she's not.
There is no way that she loves that episode. Should we do another Hallmark Christmas special?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean...
Full transparency, your friend Devin loves romantic comedies.
Yes.
He also hates, despises.
Hallmark. Yeah. I mean, you know what? Maybe I'll put a poll out there saying yes or no.
You know what? Yeah, poll on our Instagram. So if you don't follow us on Instagram, you should, to have your voice heard.
Yeah, because the new Hallmark Christmas movies start, I believe, at the end of October. So I need to do it soon because I need to start watching it soon.
Michelle ends her message by saying, thanks for tagging along on long drives or while I'm doing housework. We love to be your housework companion, Michelle.
We do.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Freaky Friday is a 2003 American fantasy romantic comedy directed by Mark Waters. It's based on Mary Rogers' 1972 novel of the same name. This is the story of Anna Coleman, played by Lindsay Lohan, and her mom, Tess Coleman, played by Jamie Lee Curtis. Anna and Tess have a tumultuous mother-daughter relationship.
I knew you were going to use that word.
Am I that predictable?
Well, perhaps you are.
Tess is a widow. She's a psychiatrist. She's an author. She's a very busy woman as well. And she's dating a new love interest after, her husband obviously, unfortunately, passed away. Anna is her daughter. That's your typical anarchist, punk rock, angry high schooler who constantly finds herself in detention. A kind of classic character we see in a lot of early 2000s teen movies. She's not a fan of her mother moving on, and she has a pretty tough relationship with her younger brother. Now, Tess is set to get married, and the day before the rehearsal, Tess and Anna have a blow-up fight that is witnessed by, I don't know how to describe this character, just a sage, old, wise Chinese lady at this restaurant that they like. The closed captioning says that they speak Cantonese to each other. So she is somebody who speaks Cantonese. That's what we know. She gives them each a fortune cookie that, through some magic, switches their bodies. They wake up the next day. Anna is in her mom Tess's body. Tess is in her daughter Anna's body. So Jamie Lee Curtis is in Lindsay Lohan's body. Lindsay Lohan is in Jamie Lee Curtis's body. That's your lead-in for Freaky Friday.
You're ruining my life!
But on Friday...
You think my life is perfect? You couldn't last one day in my high school. Cookie?
That's all about to change. Because things are going to get a little freaky.
Why am I in Anna's room?
This isn't mine. Those aren't mine.
That's definitely not mine.
This movie is a teen high school fave of mine. It was really good and was done, I think, at the right time. Similar timing to A Cinderella Story, Save the Last Dance, Bring It On, Princess Diaries, What a Girl Wants. You know, I found there to be no lull in the movie where I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is slow or boring or get to the point. You know, everything was wrapped up with a really nice tiny bow at the end. It didn't leave you wanting more. It didn't, you know, it didn't take forever to get to the ending. It is a remake, but again, I like the modern take on it. This was the height of Lindsay Lohan, and, you know, I did think at this time she could do big things.
Think of like how her career could have gone if she lived up to all the expectations we assumed of her after Mean Girls and Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
The sky was the limit.
I mean, yeah, Mean Girls was a year after this, and you know, she had other ones like Kicking Around, like Just My Luck, and
it was the Herbie Fully Loaded thing.
Yeah, and then it just kind of all went a little bit downhill. But she does have another one coming out soon, so
well, she's got a Netflix Christmas rom-com.
She does. I am very excited. Like, I kind of almost want to say, like, let's do that as part of our Christmas month.
So that is, you know what,
or our holiday month, I should say.
We need a new term for these type of romantic comedies because Netflix has basically been doing the Hallmark style romantic comedies, like low budget, easy, it's a quaint town, it's a predictable story, it's a guy from high school, it's a business person, or somebody owns a tree farm. They're all the same.
Tell us how you really feel, Devin. Please.
But like Netflix has been mowing Hallmark's lawn a little bit of like, we can do these too. And I think that's what this Lindsay Lohan movie is. So I think we should have a term for what
I would like to say, like, it's going to be a little bit higher budget than a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Oh, I have no faith in it.
Well, good for her for making a comeback. I am going to watch it because I'm going to be interested in seeing it. Maybe they'll come out with another one of the Princess Switch ones for you, Devin.
Jesus Christ. This film, however, is delightful, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's anchored by two fantastic acting performances.
Yes.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Phenomenal.
At this point, I think she's an icon. And this was, like you said, back when Lindsay Lohan was, I think she was just about a megastar. Like, there was the Parent Trap, and then there was a tiny bit of a lull, and then she just started hitting. You know?
It was around the time when all the teen stars or all the kid stars from Disney were breaking out on their own, inside and outside of Disney. You know, this is a Disney one, but you know, you had Hilary Duff, you had Amanda Bynes, you had like Nickelodeon, like she's from Nickelodeon. But
my notes,
oh my god, I'm so sorry.
This is exactly what I'm gonna say next. Okay. I'm gonna say that the story is a little less cheesy or predictable, but it was kind of a sign of the times of a lot of movies like this, like A Cinderella Story or like She's the Man. There was a feel for that era, for like a 4-year span.
Yes, 100%.
But this film, a little bit different than those two that I mentioned with Amanda Bynes and Hilary Duff. This film, however, surprised me. Like, the acting in all of them is good. The jokes are great. This one I found was a little bit cringe by design.
Yeah, totally by design.
Which is fine if that's the kind of comedy you want to shoot for. But then the end of this movie, I thought had this remarkable heart to it that really caught me. I had a weep warning at the end of this. Yeah. And you know what? Can I tell you, Sarah? I was watching you watch the end of the movie on the couch.
Yeah.
And you were like talking to her dog like, oh, Raggy. And I wanted to yell at you like, Sarah, this is the best part. Focus up, okay?
Oh my god!
I had a weep warning at the end when
didn't.
She does that speech during the rehearsal dinner.
Oh, that was a very nice, touching speech. But
nice and touching? Are you kidding?
Yeah, it was very heartwarming speech, but it wasn't a weep warning for me. My weep warning happened in A Cinderella Story when it didn't happen for you.
Absurd.
Yeah, I'm glad you had a weep warning at the end of it.
Let's dive in. Jesus. Make me feel weird about my weep warnings.
So Anna's not the most popular girl in school, and she's kind of, punk rock. She's not preppy. I think at that time, preppy was cool, and anything other than that was not cool. She doesn't really get along with her mom, but I think, typical teenage drama, angsty, all of that jazz. Anna gets detention quite a bit. She gets it twice that day. And after her detention, she's walking out and her bag drops and her big crush, Jake, walks by.
Chad Michael Murray.
Yes. Oh,
swoon. Who was also a vibe around this time.
Yeah, was he ever. It's because One Tree Hill was big.
One Tree Hill, A Cinderella Story, he's just...
swoon worthy.
Sure.
Yeah. And helps her pick everything up and asks about her band. Hey, I hear you're in a band. And then asks if she wants a ride, to which she says yes, but then finds out that he actually has a motorcycle and her mom would kill her. So she says no, but he's about to ask her out. And Mr. Bates comes and ruins the moment. And of course, he's like, you know what? I'm going to pull away from this. And he just takes off. So after school, her band Pink Slip, which I actually think is a really cool name for a band because they're in high school and you get a pink slip whenever you're late. So it's like kind of teenage angsty because like, you know, people, you're not following the rules.
That's deep.
So
guys.
you're going to get a pink slip all the time. You know, anyway, I used to be late for school all the time. I used to get pink slips all the time. My band was also called Pink Slip. No, I'm
Wow,
kidding.
yeah. Well, what did you guys play? Like, what instrument
The
were you
clarinet.
The clarinet. Not as badass as I was expecting. Oh, you guys punk rock? What do you? Oh, I'm a tromboner. Yeah, I'm a
Tromboner?
That's what they're called, technically.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very unfortunate.
Oh, that is like a pianist.
Yeah.
They really chose terrible names to name things instrument-wise.
I don't think back in the day they were like, you know what? Thousands of years from now, kids are going to make fun of the trombone
Thousands.
for boners.
Well, here we are.
And we made it to that point. Sorry to all the classical musicians.
God. Okay, so in my opinion, they're really good. They're basically
the
right
band,
now
yes.
the band,
The
the
Pink Slip,
band,
yeah.
not the people making the names.
Not tromboners. We don't like them. The band, though.
They're really good. And her band gets a call that they have an audition the following night at the House of Blues for this, like, I don't know, weekend musical thing. And Anna says it's the same night as her mom's rehearsal dinner. So she's going to have to like basically figure out a way to convince her mom to do it. Of course, her mom ends up saying, no, she can't go. And they end up going out for dinner that night to a Chinese restaurant for dinner. And there, Anna and her mom, they're bickering and the waitstaff overhears. And Pepe is the owner. And Pepe's mother also works there.
Mom, stop shrinking me. It's not about Dad. It's about the audition. You're ruining my life.
Honey, enough with the drama. Anna, high school is not that hard.
You couldn't last one day in my high school.
Pepe's mother brings her a fortune cookie, both the girls, and they each take it, not knowing that it will change the rest of their lives. They both read the fortune cookie, and then there's an earthquake. But
only they can feel it.
Of course, Tess wakes up first and is very confused why she's in Anna's room with Anna's hair and nails and body.
Why am I in Anna's room? What happened last night? Did I pass out in here?
And then they realize once Tess goes into her own bedroom and sees that her body is there.
For a sec, she thinks she's dead.
Which is hilarious. This actually is my best scene, like sequence of scenes where like they're trying to like figure out each other, like and try like they run into each other to see if that'll hit
because then
swap. And
Anna wakes up in Tess's body and she's like, I'm like the crypt keeper.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, I'm old.
So funny. I love
Which
it.
is really hilarious.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis looking into the mirror.
Look at me.
I know. We seem to be inside
I'm
each other.
old.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, I'm like the crypt keeper.
Okay, that's enough.
They figure out that it was Pepe's mother at the restaurant. They did something to them. So in the meantime, they have to go to work and school though, and that they can't tell anybody about it.
Right. The restaurant doesn't open until 11. So they're like, all right, you go to my psychiatrist's office. You got to talk to Evan.
Yes.
Tess has this recurring customer named Evan who needs to be seen every day. Right, client. My bad.
Patient, really.
My bad. And she tells Anna, who is in Tess's body.
Dying. You said customer.
Yeah, I know. That was
It's a patient.
probably a little inappropriate, but maybe not that inappropriate. I don't know. Depends on how much stock you put in psychiatrists. You know what? Actually, let's talk about it.
Okay.
Tess in Anna's body
Yes.
tells Anna in Tess's body, just go to my work.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? I can't like diagnose anybody. And she's like, no, don't diagnose anybody. Just listen.
Yeah.
And when there's a lull in the conversation, say, well, how does that make you feel? And she sends Anna off to do her job.
Yes.
So, top jobs that you think you could do for a day with no
Okay.
qualifications. It's not something that you have a familiarity with. What do you got? I've got a list of like 4 or 5.
You know what? It's not that I'm assuming that they're easy. It's just like perhaps I have certain skills that could get me by that.
Okay.
That's kind of the way I'm looking at it.
What do you got?
Okay. A social media influencer.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Yes.
If you're under the age of 35, you could get by for a day.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I could probably figure it out if there were recipes being a chef.
Wait, you think you could be a chef?
Wait. Yeah.
In a restaurant?
Where else are there chefs?
You would not last 10 minutes.
No, you know what? I never worked in the food industry, so
I was never a chef, but I was a host, but I was also a dish boy.
Oh.
And cooks are, no offense to all the cooks, they're some of the most like unstable humans. They're always angry too. But it's a fast moving environment, Sarah. You're not like, okay, you know what? The thing about Sarah when she makes recipes, there is always, it's got to be exactly what the recipe says. If it's
I've
2 tablespoons, don't give me 2 1/4 or 2 1/5.
I've gotten better.
It's got to be 2. You can't just be sitting there looking, okay, guys, I need 1 and a 1/4 cup of flour over here.
Yeah, but if I had to do it for a day, I could probably get by.
You would not last.
Oh, okay.
No, what else you got?
Another one, flight attendant.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah,
I think it's a fun job. It's like dealing, or not dealing, but like working with people who are taking the flight, can be challenging at times. But like I think there's aspects of it, that I could get by for a day, I think.
Do you know where the exits are?
Yes. Actually, sitting at the exit row, if you can, gives you more legroom.
You also get priority boarding.
And you
if
do
you're
get
in one
priority
of the,
boarding.
Which I don't like, actually. I want to spend as few minutes as possible on the airplane, but that's just a fun fact about your friend Dev.
Yeah, me too.
I think anybody can be a mail carrier as long as you are able, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you'd get lots of kilometers in, or miles, sorry.
I have a previous coworker who became a mail carrier.
Okay.
Hilarious, because she like delivered mail back to our workplace at one point, and it was really funny because she's like, okay, she's dropping off the mail. And the person who was getting the mail was like, oh, like, you got the wrong, this isn't us. And she's like, oh, they'll find it. She left. We're like, what? Like, you can't just leave their mail. You know you used to work here. Why are you giving us the wrong mail?
That's hilarious.
And that was just the vibe of mail carriers, I guess.
Oh my God.
It's fine. If it's not supposed to be here, it'll end up back with us and we'll just send it out again.
That's not a good way to do your work.
No,
okay.
I agree. Okay. So I think if she can do it, I can do it.
Right.
A business coach. You know those people who are like,
like a motivator, like a health coach.
Exactly. So like a health coach for business.
Yes,
yeah, totally. Hey, you got to wake up at 5 a.m. You got to eat your protein shakes. You got to go for drink your protein shakes. You got to like find the best you that you can find in yourself.
They have lots of quotes.
Just watch a few TED Talks and you're qualified to be a business coach, I think, for a day. And also, now this last one is just a shot. Politician, right?
Oh,
anybody can be a politician.
You think anybody? You have to be really confident in yourself to be a politician.
I think at the very least, anybody can be a municipal, public servant style politician.
Yeah.
No offense.
There's
to
literally
anybody.
no qualifications.
Right. I'm trying to tread very carefully, but I think anybody in any city has probably seen somebody that you're like, holy shit, that guy. We elected that guy. Whoa! How did that happen?
Yeah, it's true.
Oh no! Did anybody check his qualifications? No?
You don't need any.
Is there no qualifications? Mayors, they just, who knows? Okay. So Tess is at her workplace. Anna in Tess's body is at her workplace. She has a funny moment, actually, with like the phone ringing.
Oh my God, I was just about to say the phone. She cancels everything on her mom.
She cancels the caterer because she's disgusted with halibut. She turns around. There's a guy there who's clearly a delivery person. Speaking of mail.
Boris.
And she's like, are you Evan? And he's like, no, I'm Boris. I'm delivering your mail. Like, oh, okay, sorry. Then she turns around, answers another phone, turns back. There's a man there. She's like, Kevin. And he's like, my name's Evan. I can't believe you. Do you not answer the phone? And she's like, no. And he's like, you're gonna bail on me. He's freaking out. Not a great start.
Yeah, no, definitely not. So back at school, Mr. Bates does a pop quiz in his class. I'm pretty sure it's English because they're talking about Shakespeare. And she gets an F from the teacher. And she realizes and when I say she, I mean Tess in Anna's body, realizes that Mr. Bates was in fact out to get her daughter. So Anna had at the beginning of the movie said, Mr. Bates is totally out to get me. He keeps giving me really, really bad grades. And she's like, yeah, well, you just need to try harder and do better. Well, in fact, it is true because Mr. Bates had asked Tess, so the person standing in front of her, but in Anna's body, to a school dance when they were in high school. And she had said no, because at the time she literally says, that's because she had a boyfriend and you were weird. After class, though, her friends ask her, what her mom said about about ditching the rehearsal to go and do the House of Blues audition. And of course, Tess had said no. But the way that Lindsay Lohan pulls off being or trying to be Jamie Lee Curtis's, like Tess's character, is really funny. Like, okay, girls, we're not going to do, like, she does a really good job pretending to be an adult.
She does. You know what? Like I said, great acting performances. Can we circle really quickly back to Mr. Bates?
Yes.
So he asks her to do, a thing about Hamlet. What are the main conflicts in Hamlet?
Oh, God.
No, I'm not asking you that.
Okay, I was going to say, oh my gosh.
That's what he asked.
I have to dig
Tess
deep here.
in Hannah's body.
We did Hamlet, but like it was in high school.
Well, let's test your Shakespeare knowledge, though, because there are so many romantic comedies that are based off of Shakespeare, right?
All right.
How about I name you some romantic comedies, and you listening can play along as well. You got to figure out the Shakespearean play it's based off of, starting with an easy one, 10 Things I Hate About You.
I mean, we've done this movie, Taming of the Shrew.
It is Taming of the Shrew. Another movie we have done. The Halloween themed, maybe. Warm Bodies. Remember that? Nicholas Hoult?
Okay, I'm pretty sure this was in our quick facts as well.
Yeah, it was.
It's loosely based on Romeo and Juliet.
It is loosely based on Romeo and Juliet, 2 for 2. Amanda Bynes, Channing Tatum. She's the man.
This one is it The 12th Night?
It is The 12th Night,
Okay.
Sarah. Yes. Get Over It. Are you familiar? Kirsten Dunst?
I don't.
Wow, that is a Midsummer's...
Oh, yes.
A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yes, I think there's a few rom-coms, though, based on that.
There is. I think I've got one more that's based off that. Let me see if I can find it here. Maybe not. Oh, Deliver Us from Ava.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
Also, Taming of the Shrew.
Okay.
And the last one, this is loosely a romantic comedy. There is a romance piece in it.
Mm-hmm.
The Lion King, 1994.
Really?
Oh, that's based off Shakespeare for sure.
Interesting.
Think about it. There's a king who's betrayed.
Oh my God. I can't remember what is it?
It's a timeless reimagining of... It's Hamlet.
Okay.
That is Hamlet.
Okay.
It's not Julius Caesar. You're probably thinking Julius Caesar.
No, I
right?
wasn't. I was thinking of a different one, but it was like... Anyway, yeah, I still can't remember it. So, okay, Hamlet, all right.
So you got the easy ones.
Yes.
10 things I hate about you.
Okay, the great ones.
The classics, yeah.
So Tess and Anna in each other's bodies meet at lunchtime to go to the Chinese restaurant. And Pei basically says her mother is crazy and the fortune cookie is what started all of this, but they can't do anything for them. That Anna and Tess actually have to figure it out themselves and then they will change back.
They need to complete the fortune on the cookie.
Correct.
Essentially.
So of course they go back and they try to find their fortune cookie and what it says. But
they keep on getting distracted or sidetracked because things are happening in their lives. Like it's the rehearsal dinner that night.
Right.
Shit's busy, guys.
Totally.
Tess goes back to the school in Anna's body to write an exam.
Yeah, so she goes to write this qualifying exam for Anna and tries to make up with a mean girl, Stacy, at school. And she's like, oh, it's just, just communication. That's all you need. And blah, 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 blah. Like, again, Anna is the one who's ruined this relationship with Stacy. No. In fact, Stacy's just a mean girl. And she actually causes Anna to be caught for cheating. And she ends up later on getting help from Jake, who allows Tess and Anna's body to finish writing her exam, which thank God.
And now, so Tess was very adamant that Jake must not be a good guy. If you know him from detention, he's also way too old for you. Tess is now finding out, yeah, Stacy's kind of a piece of shit. Jake's actually kind of a good guy.
And he works at school. I don't actually think he's a student.
Yes, correct.
So he might be too old, but
Can we talk about this real quick?
Sure.
Why is it that nobody ever wanted to write a backstory for Chad Michael Murray?
Right?
We've now had 2 movies, not in a row, but like we did a Cinderella story where like there was nothing about Chad Michael Murray except that he had a bad relationship with his dad and his dad wanted him to go to like Harvard or something. In this movie, what do we know about Chad Michael Murray, Sarah?
He is...
This is my what should have been, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I'm already doing it.
Okay. So that he has for the time, a great haircut.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Swoon-worthy. Older than the students at high school.
Yes, okay.
Rides a bicycle. He
Wow,
rides
bicycle.
He
Oh my
rides a
God.
motorcycle.
Yeah.
And he's badass. And why is we don't even know what he does at the school.
That's okay. That's what, aside from the great haircut, I suppose I agree with that. He works at the haircut.
At the haircut
I'm
place.
Really, you got me with the haircut.
You're really thrown off.
He works at the high school doing something I have written down. He's a barista at a coffee shop.
Yeah.
He likes the Ramones. He doesn't like the White Stripes.
And he likes the hives.
Yeah. These are the factual things that we can tell you about Jake in this movie. Chad Michael Murray, nobody wrote him a story in anything.
But I will
Maybe
say...
One Tree Hill he had a story, right?
Yeah, he did. He had a very good backstory. Well, very good story. But I will say Freaky Friday came out before Cinderella story. So... since he was the main lead character for like the male swoon-worthy man here in Freaky Friday, did he go from Freaky Friday to a very similar script in terms of like his character there and say, no, for a Cinderella story, I want a backstory?
That's right, because if you listen to that pod, Chad Michael Murray made a point to be like, guys, can you like, there's more about his character because he told them to write more about his character.
Yeah.
He had less. He probably had about this much backstory in that movie, and he made them do more.
Oh, God.
Which is just remarkable. Like, why are they like, you're just a good-looking idiot with a great haircut.
For the time, yeah.
That's all we need. Suppose he had a good haircut.
He definitely did. Okay, so over back to Anna in Tessa's body, where her soon-to-be husband, Ryan, tells her that he has a surprise for her. Close your eyes and brings her to a talk show where she's going to talk about her new book, Through the Looking Glass. And of course, she's freaking out because
this is
she's
Anna
in fact
in
Anna,
Tessa's body, yeah.
And she's not the one who wrote it. And it obviously goes hilariously wrong, but in the best way possible for me. Like, I just loved this scene. This was like close to my best scene.
And I think maybe like it wasn't a total miss.
No.
Like people liked her, some people didn't, but it was... So then,
Psychiatrist gone wild.
Tess in Anna's body is watching this on the TV like, oh my God, she's ruining it. By the way, you talked about him. This is the first time we've really mentioned Ryan, played by Mark Harmon.
Yep.
From the...
NCIS.
Right. I was going to say, Sarah knows.
You know what? NCIS has followed us through this podcast time and time again.
We should do like a rewatch of NCIS. No, that sounds horrible. I would not enjoy that.
Back to Tess in Anna's body getting to finish her test. As they're walking out of the file room, like you said, there's a TV playing and it's Anna in Tessa's body on the talk show. And Jake in that moment says, oh my God, your mom is so cool. And so like he almost starts to get a little bit of a crush on her.
He does.
And we see this throughout the rest of the movie. And I believe this is where the cringiness comes into play.
I mean, there's a lot of cringe throughout the film that like, I say cringe not in a derogatory term. I think the TV show The Office is cringe and it's hilarious. So cringe is good comedy in its place. Yeah, they have, like, where are we now? He ends up working at his coffee shop.
After the talk show, Anna in Tessa's body ends up kind of zipping out the back of the show, and she goes to the coffee shop, and just Jake so happens to work there. She didn't know. She's surprised to see him there. And they end up chatting over coffee about their love for music and bands, and they have a moment. It's, like, awkward to watch, but it's also really funny at the same time because like they're like totally commiserating over like their love for music and like having like deep moments talking about how they hate the White Stripes and they love Hit Me Baby One More Time by Britney Spears. But
it was the cover. It was the punk rock cover of
yes.
it, Sarah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so sorry.
It is awkward. And like at the beginning of the movie, we teed up that Lindsay Lohan, Anna, had a big crush on Jake. And now Anna, in Jamie Lee Curtis's body, is still like the chemistry is there.
Absolutely.
It's just weird that it's Jamie Lee Curtis being like, oh my God, you like the White Stripes too? Oh, you don't? No, me neither. Get a bassist, right? Like they're just like flirting.
Well, and they almost kiss, and then she realizes that she's like, oh my God, like I'm in my mom's body. This is really wrong.
I gotta get home.
Yeah. So they're getting ready for the rehearsal dinner and they're leaving, and guess who shows up but Jake singing Hit Me Baby One More Time, the punk version, outside of the house for Tess, who's really Anna.
Tess in Anna's body tackles Jake.
Okay, this was hilarious. Like as she's running, I'm like, she's running in heels, she's running in a dress, and she's going to tackle a grown man. All right.
Yeah, sure.
Let's
Chad Michael
see.
Murray.
Yeah, why not?
Great haircut. Not a whole lot of pounds on him. You could tackle that guy.
They didn't write the pounds in the script.
Yeah. So she tackles him and she's like, what are you doing? You can't like Tess. And he's like, no, it's not you, Anna. It's your mom. I like your mom. And she's like, you have no idea what you're talking about. You got to stop. They end up ditching Jake there and going to the rehearsal.
Yeah, and of course, then Jake shows up at the rehearsal dinner.
But also, Anna's two friends show up to try and kidnap Anna so that they can go and do that. It's not an open mic thing. It was by request. It's an audition. Yeah. And then once again, so Tess is in Anna's body, and she's like, "Big guys, I can't go and do this.
This is not a good idea."
And then there's this really big moment with Ryan, who is Tess's fiance, where he talks about how, like, you can't put me in the middle of your kids. I want Anna to like me just for me, and I want her to kind of, find her way to us having a relationship together. I don't want to push it, but like you're putting me at the last 24 hours in a really weird spot, and it's very uncomfortable. And of course, Anna is standing there in Tess's body, and I think she's seeing a little bit more about Ryan's character, her future stepdad, and how he's actually a pretty good guy. And he sends Anna, well, Tess in Anna's body, off to do the audition. And then he tells Anna in Tess's body, and you should be going off to watch her. So we end up at the venue.
Yes.
Anna in Tess's body is there, like, watching, waiting, like, by the stage. God. And who comes out? It's the band, Pink Slip. Tess is trying to play guitar as Anna. Yeah. She's sucking hard.
Terrible.
So bad. Jake also shows up at this because
I know.
Jake has a homing beacon. He just knows where they are. How did he know where the rehearsal dinner was?
I don't know.
How did he know what venue they were going to perform at? How did he know? Oh, I guess he drove her home, so he knew the house.
Yes.
But, like, still, Jake, I don't know, man.
But also, like, how does he fit all of that in one day?
Weren't you just at work at the coffee shop? Like, what is happening?
Yeah. And how were you able to drive her home from the coffee shop? Were you not working? So many questions.
Keep on running into her outside of the detention room.
So many questions, Jake.
Jake, I don't know, man. Is there an alternate universe where he's like a serial killer or something? And
no. Don't say that about Chad Michael Murray.
Not Chad Michael Murray. That's too much backstory for Chad Michael Murray. we don't write him that much.
Guy. Oh my God.
Oh man. Okay, let's play another game real quick.
Okay.
Because I was watching this scene, this live musical performance scene, and it struck me that, Lindsay Lohan might have 2 of the top 10, like, musical moments in a rom-com, because she has the Mean Girls Christmas recital thing,
right? And
she's got this,
yeah.
But I didn't know if it made the top 10 list.
Okay, I mean, I definitely think the Mean Girls one does.
So I started writing down all the different. This is Devin's all-time top live concert performance moments in romantic comedies.
Okay,
it doesn't need to be a music thing. It could be like a flash mob dance, for example. Those are on the table. But I will say I'm excluding proper musicals, because like West Side Story is going to win every time. Yeah. Rent is going to,
I was not even going to ever go there.
Perfect. All right. So I got to 8, and then I've just got a bunch of honorable mentions, because I think after 8 it's tough.
Okay.
Go ahead.
10 Things I Hate About You.
Ooh, that is number 2, Sarah.
Mean Girls.
That's number 3 I've got.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Give me a second.
We're talking like iconic,
500 Days of Summer.
That's an honorable mention for me, actually.
Okay.
I would put that in the top 10.
Yeah. Well, it is your top 10, so.
but it's most iconic. I don't think
Okay,
everybody would
okay.
consider that iconic. That's
no-
why I stopped at 8, because I
Okay.
think there can be a wiggle room with 9 and 10.
No Strings Attached, when Justin Timberlake does the flash mob in Central
no, honorable mention.
Union
Yeah.
Station. Okay,
Just because the speech to prelude it wasn't strong.
great. Okay, Freaky Friday,
Freaky Friday I have at 8.
Bring It On.
Yes, that's number 5. The entire 20-minute cheer competition is
Oh, okay.
in
I was
there.
gonna say, "Oh, Mickey, you're so fine" at the end, like at the end of the
Oh,
movie.
the credits.
Yeah,
No,
the
I
credits.
just got the entire. It's like
Okay.
20 minutes of performing competition thing.
All right.
You're
Okay.
still missing number 1, 4.
I know. I'm trying to think of
6
number
and
one.
7.
Like, what would be number one?
Oh, Sarah, number 1.
You're gonna say it, and I'm gonna be like, "Oh my god!"
believe you
I'm
haven't figured it out.
embarrassed.
I can take some things off the table
Sure,
for you.
please do.
Jersey Girl, the Sweeney Todd performance is an
Oh,
honorable
that's
mention.
funny. Okay.
Enchanted, the New York City flash mob scene
Oh,
is an
that's-
honorable mention. It was very good.
That one's a good one.
Pretty in Pink has a scene that's an honorable mention.
Mm-hmm.
27 Dresses, James Marsden and Katherine Heigl performing Elton John.
Oh,
on
that's
the bar
funny.
top.
That's good.
Isn't it romantic? You know when they sing
oh
Whitney
my god,
Houston at
that
the bar?
one was good.
That one was
Yes,
good. That one was
really
close.
good. Yeah.
Honorable mention though.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
those are all off the table for you. Do you want me to just start going?
Yes.
I have number 7,
Mm-hmm.
The Wedding Singer. Really?
Oh,
You could
oh,
pick the whole movie.
My God, I can't believe I love The Wedding Singer.
How did you not get The Wedding Singer?
I'm embarrassed for myself.
But mostly I'm picking the Somebody Kill Me Please song when it's just
Okay.
him and Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
And he's like, somebody kill me. Hilarious. Number 6, Forgetting Sarah Marshall when he performs
Oh my gosh,
in Hawaii.
The
Vampire
musical.
Yes, the vampire
Oh
comedy.
my God, I love it.
Bring It On, you got... Sarah.
Oh.
13 going on 30. The Thriller
Yay.
dance.
You know what? That one popped in my head and then it went right out.
Oh, man.
Because when I actually started answering them, I completely remember, like I had like a moment of like, I'm like, oh no, it was in and out.
And like I said, this is Devin's all-time list.
Thriller.
I'm not this
Phenomenal.
is just my own opinion. But number 1 has to be...
Yeah.
Because it's so iconic.
Oh.
My Best Friend's Wedding.
The moment I wake up, before I put on my makeup,
Say a little
Oh my
prayer
God.
for you.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It
isn't
is.
great?
You're almost tearing up.
I'm
right now.
almost tearing up
I
because
know.
it's so iconic. I think it's beautiful.
It is. You know what? You're right. And I would love to know if you guys have any others that we missed.
Yeah,
please let us
please
know.
do. As we were talking about, this is the number 8 on Devin's all-time top live concert performance moments in romantic comedies. Anna in Tess's body in the audience, and she, I guess, sneaks backstage.
Yep.
Because Tess in Anna's body is just, she's treading water
Shit in
out
the
there.
bed.
She doesn't know how to play guitar. The band is kind of looking at her like, what the F are you doing? We're in the middle of our song. Pink Slip is not looking great. The crowd's not into it. So
I was trying to think of a really funny like thing, like, oh, they're not late for class today because like they're not doing well.
oh my
Get it?
God, Sarah. Stop forcing it, you know?
You know, because they want to be late.
You know,
You know?
like, I'm a father. You bring the dad jokes to the pod, though. You
I
really
know.
do.
I know I do.
And nobody asked for them. You're just doing them. Like a proper dad joke. Like nobody
Right. Like
wants them.
nobody asks for
No,
them, but
no.
they get provided anyway.
They happen.
They are provided.
Yeah. So Anna in Tess's body, she unplugs the guitar, plugs her own guitar in, so backstage she can perform, while Tess in Anna's body, she can perform to the crowd.
Right.
Like the person actually playing guitar is
Yes.
backstage. And that was actually a really great moment because Tess talks to Anna afterwards and she's like, you are so brave. Like, you're not just playing like stupid. You're not just making noise in the garage.
Yeah.
Like,
this is hard. You've got guts. Like,
This is hard. This is cool, though. This is exciting.
Yeah.
You're very brave. And then they go back to the rehearsal.
oh, yes. And before they go back to the rehearsal, though, Jake in the crowd is like, yeah, Anna, you rock. And I'm like, okay, so like, screw Jamie Lee Curtis.
I know.
She's out the window.
Jake's
I like
going
Anna.
through a lot of stuff in this movie.
With no backstory.
With no... Who is he?
We don't know anything about him,
We
except
don't
he's
know.
going through a lot, though.
God, he's got 2 jobs.
We don't know what he's going through, though.
He's got 2 jobs and he's going through a lot, guys.
So, yeah, they get back to the rehearsal dinner. And Tess in Anna's body asks Anna in Tess's body to tell Ryan that they have to postpone the wedding. But instead, Anna in Tess's body makes an impassioned speech. And I'm going to let you finish because
This is my best scene. It's also a weep warning. No, you basically set it up. Like, Tess is kind of telling Anna, we got to postpone. And Anna nods along like, yeah, sure, we're going to postpone. She goes up. She does a toast, though, and she talks about how the father who passed away is never really talked about until this moment. Mm-hmm. And Anna, who's in Tess's body, talks about that a little bit and how, you know, you can never replace a person, but maybe your family can just change and maybe it can add somebody new. And that Tess has been so happy since Ryan came along and that he's going to be a great addition to a new family that's just kind of a little bit different. And it was really, really sweet. And it was very symbolic. It was very sacrificial, which I think was what we were looking for in terms of like them understanding each other's point of views.
Yeah.
And then an earthquake happens.
Yes.
And the grandpa says, earthquake! And the bodies
they switch right there.
back.
They don't have to wait till the next morning.
No. And Pepe's in the corner. I think Pepe comes in later, right? Because we have the wedding night.
Because Anna in Tessa's body canceled the caterer. Pepe throughout the whole movie said, "Oh yeah, we'll cater. Like, you know, let us."
That was
cater
actually a
for
really
you."
cute bit with Pepe.
So they do end up catering the wedding. So they get married, Tess and Ryan, and at the wedding, Jake shows up.
Fucking Jake! How does he know where the wedding is?
I don't know.
It's unbelievable.
I think Tess in Tessa's body reached out to Jake in Jake's body and let him know where it is.
How did she reach out? Nobody has his phone number. Who?
I don't know. I can't tell you, but I did love Lindsay Lohan's purple dress in this one for the wedding. I really liked it. I just had to add that in there. But they end up dancing, and Anna and Jake, and they end up kissing.
That kind of wraps up our movie. They've switched back bodies. They both have a better perspective of each other. I think they're in a really good place emotionally. Tess is now married to Ryan. Anna is now, I guess, dating Jake.
Yeah, and at the end of the movie, and this is kind of my honorable mention because I kind of wish it would have ended a different way. So at the very end, we see Pepe's mother, who's also at the wedding. I just wouldn't have invited her, but
that is a risky person
right?
to invite anywhere,
right? She sees Harry and Grandpa bickering and offers them a fortune cookie, and of course
Pepe puts a stop to it.
Pepe puts a stop to it, tackles them both, grabs the fortune cookies. But I kind of wish it would have ended where they would have opened the fortune cookie and and changed places.
Like, if you're Pepe, cool. Stop bringing your mother places. Like,
I know.
Stop switching people's bodies, Mom. Quick facts.
The snapshots in the opening credits are actually photos of Jamie Lee Curtis and her daughter Annie Guest. No Doubt singer Gwen Stefani was offered a role as a member of the band.
That would have been so cool.
Right? Jamie Lee Curtis had only 6 days to prepare for this role of Tess after Annette Bening dropped out. To play an adult trapped in a teenage body, Lohan spent a long time learning how to replicate Jamie Lee Curtis's posture. Tom Selleck was originally cast as Ryan but dropped out. When Jamie Lee Curtis found out that Lindsay Lohan, who was going to be playing her daughter, had starred in The Parent Trap in 1998, she asked which twin did she play.
Oh my God. Amazing.
Kelly Osbourne originally auditioned for the role of Anna and was offered the part but decided to back out when her mother was diagnosed with cancer. For the movie, Lindsay Lohan had to teach Jamie Lee Curtis how to say "shut up" in a typical teenage manner. Lindsay Lohan and her fictional band Pink Slip regularly had band practice together before they began shooting. A member of the band, Orgy, instructed Jamie Lee Curtis on how to play guitar. In the concert sequence, although Jamie Lee Curtis practiced at making it look authentic, in the finished film, a studio musician overdubbed the guitar solo. Chad Michael Murray was not allowed to ride the motorcycle during the movie and was only allowed to pose on it for scenes where it was stationary.
No, that's hilarious. Okay, so they don't even write him a backstory. They don't let him ride the motorcycle. Chad Michael Murray, guys.
Swoon worthy.
I feel bad for him, though.
The cover of Tess Coleman's book, Through the Looking Glass, is the same cover as the original Freaky Friday novel written by Mary Rogers. Producer Andrew Gunn said he initially hoped Jodie Foster, who played the daughter in the original movie Freaky Friday in 1976, would be game to play the mother in the remake. Jodie Foster declined in part because of concerns that the casting stunt would overshadow the movie's overall merit. Michelle Trachtenberg was cast as Anna, but had to back out due to her contractual obligations to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Coincidentally, this is the second movie she's turned down in which Lindsay Lohan won the lead role for. The first was The Parent Trap in 1998. This is the second remake which Lindsay Lohan appears in. She starred in The Parent Trap, like I've mentioned, in 1998 as a remake to the original 1961 movie, and the second movie was this one. Lindsay Lohan has starred in a few movies that involve some sort of swapping. In this movie, her character swaps bodies with her mother. In the movie Just My Luck from 2006, her character swaps fortune and luck with a man. In The Parent Trap from 1998, she plays both twin sisters who swap lives to pretend to be one another. Dina Waters, director Mark Waters' wife, plays the television TV show host interviewer. There is also a director cameo where at the wedding, he is there holding the baby. Lindsay Lohan's mother, Dina Lohan, is in the end scene when Anna is dancing with Jake. She's in the background dancing with an older gentleman and looks directly at the camera. Julie Gonzalo, who plays Anna's arch enemy, Stacy, would later go on to play Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter in Christmas with the Cranks. Mark McClure, who plays the mother's boyfriend Boris in the original Freaky Friday, plays a character also named Boris in this one. He is the only actor from the original to make an appearance in the reboot. As an homage to Jamie Lee Curtis's mother, Janet Leigh, known for her performance in the movie Psycho from 1960, a character named Mr. Bates is in this present movie. This is a nod to the character of Norman Bates in Psycho. Mark Harmon and Jamie Lee Curtis repeat their roles as lovers 8 years later in the 9th season of NCIS as Special Agent Leroy Gibbs and Dr. Samantha Ryan. Chad Michael Murray and Julie Gonzalo later worked together on A Cinderella Story a year later in similar roles. Chad Michael Murray was cast again as the main character's love interest, while Julie was again the main character's rival. The main character was portrayed by Hilary Duff, who lost out to the role of Anna in Freaky Friday to Lindsay Lohan. At the time, these two, Lindsay Lohan and Hilary Duff, were in a very high-profile feud. Lizzie McGuire, Those Freaky McGuires, an installment of Lizzie McGuire, is considered a fourth version of Mary Rogers' story. Apparently, once Hilary Duff had lost the role to Lindsay Lohan, she wanted the TV show Lizzie McGuire to get freaky for one installment. Freaky Friday was adapted into a musical produced by Disney in 2017. Most of the songs in this movie are covers or remakes, just like how the movie is a remake. Anna and Tessa's plan to restore themselves to normal is by running into each other from opposite sides of the room. This is similar to one on Bewitched, the TV show. In Bewitched, Divided He Falls, Darren is split into two people, and Endora suggests he does the same to undo the spell. He ends up dazed on the floor, but in this case, it works for him. Two alternate endings were filmed. One involved Harry and Grandpa opening their fortune cookies when an earthquake happens, with them both yelling, "Earthquake!" The second, an original ending, would have had the movie cut to black and break their fortune cookies before the director claimed that it wasn't a funny ending, which led to the scene we see now, where Pepe is tackling the duo to obtain the cookies from them. Julie Gonzalo, who played Stacy, and Erica Gimple, who played Harry's teacher, both starred in the TV show Veronica Mars, playing Parker Lee and Alicia Fennell. Rosalind Chow, who plays Pepe, and Lucille Song, who plays Pepe's mother, were both in the Joy Luck Club, although they didn't have any scenes together. Lindsay Lohan's character was supposed to be goth, but she didn't think it would work. In 2006, she told Vanity Fair that she deemed Anna's character too grungy for general audiences. No one would be able to relate to the character if she was really goth. Lindsay decided to dress for the audition as the polar opposite, a traditional, stylish, sophisticated Abercrombie & Fitch model, which worked because they rewrote the character. There has been a few remakes of this movie, including the most recent one in 2017 as a Disney musical comedy. Disney also produced a mostly forgotten made-for-TV version of this movie in 1995. It starred Gabby Hoffman, who you might recognize from Sleepless in Seattle and Girls as the daughter.
Honorable mentions.
We did our honorable mentions.
No, I did my what should have been.
Oh, yeah, I think I did my what should have been too.
My honorable mention is something that I should have teased off the top to make sure that you knew that we would end up talking about this.
Okay.
Is that Jamie Lee Curtis has come out and said we should do a sequel.
Yes, I know. That was my honorable mention.
I'm honorably mentioning the potential sequel. And apparently Lindsay Lohan has also said that she's game.
So it came out this week.
Yes.
Yes.
As of us recording.
Right.
This has just become news that Jamie Lee Curtis said
in
it.
October.
Lindsay Lohan said, yeah, sure. So potentially there could be a Freaky Friday 2 in the works?
Yeah, so Jamie Lee Curtis wants to play the grandma.
So I was about to say,
the hot grandma.
What is the story? Is it Jamie Lee Curtis is the grandma, Lindsay Lohan is now the mom?
Yeah.
And then there's a
teenage daughter or teenage son. Who knows? That would be funny.
Who do we think?
Oh,
Yeah. Is it
that's
like
a good question. I don't know.
I think Haley Steinfeld's just a little too old now,
Yeah.
right? She was doing like the I'm a teenager like 8 years ago,
Yeah,
right?
I think she's too old.
She was in Pitch Perfect 2 like 8 years ago, right?
Yeah.
So,
That's a good question. I don't know.
I think do you pick an up-and-comer, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Like-
You know what, though? They did a really, really good casting call when they cast two big stars to do this movie.
Yeah, so do you do somebody like a Zendaya who's already like established, but who's young enough to play a senior in high school?
Yeah, maybe. But like Jamie Lee Curtis has made it very clear, like a sexy grandma or like a hot grandma.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll only do the movie if I'm hot.
Yeah. Well, that's the article that I read, right? Like that's
And
kinda
Chad
what it
Michael
was.
Murray's over here like, I just want a story.
Oh my God,
Guys,
Chad Michael Murray. Oh my
do they
God.
bring him
They
back?
could be married.
Oh my God. And now, overall rewatchability. My scores are chemistry. And now I want to be clear, the chemistry here is mostly, I would say, between Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan and how they play each other and the chemistry there. I think that's important. And Chad Michael Murray obviously has a thing for Jamie Lee Curtis. It's hilarious. 5 out of 5 for chemistry for me. It's perfect. Storyline, a 4.8 out of 5. The thirst factor is a 4.5. Mostly because of Chad Michael Murray's hair, I think. Imagination is a 4.4. I wish it could be higher, but it is based off a novel. Soundtrack is a 4.7. A few original songs in there. Love that. Cheese is a 4.8 for an overall score of 4.7 out of 5.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
really high.
I know. Big fan.
Okay, so mine is as follows. Chemistry 5, storyline 4.5, thirst factor 5, imagination 3.5, soundtrack 4, cheese 4.2 for an overall score of 4.3.
4.3 out of 5. Okay, it's not bad. This has been the Rom-Com Rewind of Freaky Friday. If you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever, please follow, subscribe, leave a review. If you have heard anything that you want to talk more about, we would love to hear it. If you reach out, we will respond. Rom-Com Rewind on Instagram, romcomrewind@gmail.com. You can also leave a voicemail, 1-705-525-8573.
Thanks for listening.